The Deschutes River Trail was my first bikepacking trip over 4 years ago. I rode about 17 miles in, where I got 2 flat tires, I forgot my lighter for my stove, and then I spent the evening trying to learn how to patch tubes. It was kind of a disaster. I made a lot of mistakes on that trip, but I also learned a lot, especially the value of tubeless tires.
So far the weather forecast has been spot on, except for the 40-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Rob and I kicked around some ideas for a weekend bikepacking trip and ultimately landed on the Deschutes River Trail. Except this time, instead of stopping 17 miles in and turning around, we'd hopefully continue past the down trestles and connect to a BLM Access road where we'd ride on to Maupin, a small city in Wasco County. As usual, we didn't do much research and we didn't really know what to expect. The first part of the route's changed a bit since I did it over 4 years ago. The fires in 2018 burned a lot of the area. The park's also spraying to kill the goat heads and puncture vines. We had 0 flat tires, and Rob always gets flat tires. Passed the first downed trestle, and took a little lunch break, and now we're gonna keep on going. I don't know how many more there are. The old sideways bike technique there. Real smart. Each of the down trestles has something that sort of resembles a trail, but with loaded bikes, it isn't easy going, up or down. Really, it's slow going, but if you're willing to put in the effort, you're rewarded with beautiful views and solitude. In between the trestles, the terrain isn't exactly smooth either. Expect sustained rocky and bumpy terrain, and a lot of pushing. Good job.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then there's the barbed wire fence. You have to cross this barbed wire fence a half a dozen times or so. It's not really a big deal, but it's just another thing that requires you to get off your bike. It felt like we pushed our bikes more than we rode for this 6-mile stretch, but in my opinion, it's easily the best 6 miles of this entire route.
I said I love bike pushing, not bike riding. Bike pushing is so fun. And we've done so much today.
We have.
Wow, what a great day though.
Alright, we just finished the non-groomed section of the trail. Took us a while.
Non-groomed.
The non-groomed section. Yeah, it took us a little while, but here we are. And we just joined up with the road. And we're gonna have a discussion about what we're gonna do, because we want beer, but that's not till Maupin, and that's
25 miles?
25 miles. Uh-oh. Maybe we're not gonna have a discussion. No need for discussion. We'll see.
Well, you know what I always say. My favorite thing to do is ride bikes and then drink beer. Wait a minute. I think I got that back.
Doing this. Cheers.
Cheers.
Another good ride. What did you think about today's ride?
That was harder than I expected.
Yeah?
And then you get this washed out old trestle, and I thought, oh yeah, we'll go through a couple of those and it'll be fine. Well, no. It's 6 miles of riding, hike a bike, pushing, dragging.
It's kind of bumpy. Uh-oh, round 3.
So you know, there are good decisions and bad decisions. And this woman is making bad decisions for us. Oh wait, those are good decisions.
That's where we slept last night. Tent's looking in pretty rough shape right now.
Stop filming me without my makeup.
Alright, so it's like 7:30 or 7-ish, and it's still a little bit chilly out. Drank too much last night. Had 4 beers. It's too much for me. So I got a little bit of a headache. We think we're gonna go back on the kind of east side route of the Oregon Stampede today instead of just going back on the Deschutes. So we're gonna make some coffee, get packed up, and then we'll get going.
We like the idea of making a loop instead of an out and back, and we're familiar with the route since we had done it just a month or so ago. All right, we are grinding up this hill. It's beautiful out, and I don't know what the road is called, but it's a great hill. I think Parker's gonna start dancing. Day 1 was cold and windy. You may have noticed that Rob even rode in his jeans for part of it. That's because the cold took us by surprise when we were leaving. Remember the part where I said earlier that we didn't do any research? Well, in contrast, on day 2 we had phenomenal weather. No wind and a great temperature. A perfect way to finish the ride. Good job.
Another fun weekend. That was a great ride. I highly recommend it. The trestles, a little sketchy, but you know, if you're up for it, if you're up for an adventure, very cool. Very cool day. I don't know if I'd want to go through it and back again, but the way we came back was awesome. It's a great ride.